Hi, I'm Darlene.
I'm JT.
And we're crazy.
Welcome to episode 2.
Hey.
We're going to talk about glamping Disney style.
The only way to do it.
So what is glamping?
Not camping in a tent.
No tents.
Air conditioning, nice bed.
Bathroom.
Bathrooms.
Electronics. Charging spots.
Refrigerator. Stove. Coffee pot.
Coffee pot. Yeah.
2 bathrooms.
So we mentioned in episode 1 that we were talking about how we got to Outdoorsy. Outdoorsy.com. We were just looking around and experimenting and recognizing that, hey, maybe we want to do this for a short trip down the street. Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes away.
Little weekend camp
just
away.
rent an RV,
Mm-hmm.
try it out. Then we just happened to check to see what was in Orlando, what was available.
Yes. I was browsing around trying to see if there was anybody in Orlando who would rent out their trailer. Before that, we actually just Googled renting RVs or renting trailers in Florida because we didn't even check Outdoorsy yet. And so we have found some companies that specialize in this in Orlando. They you rent a trailer, a fifth wheel, and they go and they set it up for you. They hook it up, get cable TV, your electric, your sewer. They get it all set up for you. So all you have to do is pull in and unload and get ready to camp. And it was, we had checked some of those out, and then I was like, oh, well, let me check Outdoorsy because we had been already browsing around there. So I wonder if someone at Outdoorsy would actually do that since these are privately owned RVs. So I thought maybe someone would do that. So I checked, and I found that one where I said it was too good to be true. It was priced way lower than the ones that we had been finding. And when I sent him the text, I said, you got to check this out. He responded back, what's wrong with it?
Right. What's wrong with it? That's how too good to be true it was.
It was.
What's wrong with it?
Right. And he had a second trailer that was a little bit smaller, and that one was even less. And so we talked about that for a little while. And I said, we just have to call this guy just to see if is he legit? Is he, why is it priced lower? And you had you've been having lots of email conversations.
Yeah, I had a lot of great interactions with him. I'm gonna hold off on mentioning his name because, again, we're just gonna make sure that the too good to be true is not too good to be true. But as soon as we do, I promise you, and honestly, I have a very good feeling about this guy. I don't think, I really don't have any concerns, except for just being a little more conservative. So once we have gotten there, you're going to hear all about it. Right?
Well, we have a signed
and we are going to
contract.
show you some pictures of the unit that we're planning to rent. I'm just not going to. But again, I want to advertise the mess out of this guy if this is a success for us.
Right. He's from what you told me and just a little bit on his bio. He's a family guy. He's got 6 kids. He loves to go camping. And he said he purposely priced it lower for that reason, for, for families like ours. Of course, we don't have 6 kids, but, there's 5 of us, and we don't fit the Disney little foursome that fits perfectly in all the resort rooms.
Doing Disney
and
with
the
a family
rides.
of 5.
Right. We're an odd number.
Yeah.
And, so in those conversations that you've had with him, from what you've told me, he seems like he's real, but we have a signed contract.
Yeah.
Those are things we look for, and he's answered all of your questions. And
he has. He's been very forthcoming, and he's been actually incredible to work with. So super, super happy with the way things have gone so far. And we will talk more about that when we get to Disney. Okay, well, we're going to be recording while we're there, at least a little bit. We'll send some updates while we're at Disney.
You guys got to follow.
Then, of course, subscribe. Yeah, there's a
button
button
down there,
and you can like too. That'd be okay because that helps us. So,
So when we figured out that this was a safe way to go, or everything seemed pretty good, we just started moving ahead and started picking a date. So let's look at this week, which we picked September. Because over the years, I've been doing this for a while, wishing to go to Disney World.
that's true.
And we start planning, and I'm trying to find every way we can, chop money off that total, and so we have done a lot of research anyway, on when the best time to go is, and since we homeschool, we're very flexible.
Right.
So we have discovered that, right after everybody goes to school, most kids are back in school right after Labor Day. We figured we would go like that next week. And looking at crowd charts and stuff online.
That is researchable. So
Yeah.
any week that you want to go to Disney, or really anywhere else in Orlando, there are Google.
Right.
You can get any information you want about peak times, off-peak times, when are the best times for you to, what days of the week are the best days to go, even which parks are more crowded than other ones.
Right.
Anything you want to find about that is all available online, and you should use that to start picking your times that you want to go. And if you have flexibility, which really is kind of our number one tip, be flexible. That we found, we had the luxury, like Darlene said, we have the luxury of homeschooling our kids, so we have a little more flexibility than most.
Right.
We don't have to worry about public schools, especially when we're thinking of going, which is just after schools go back.
Right. We don't have to worry about making up any homework or anything, because we could just adjust our schedule.
Right.
We're gonna, we could start and do some things, take that week off, and then, finish it out. And anyway, that's about homeschooling. We're talking about glamping.
Different subject.
So
Glamping.
maybe that'll be another thing. Anyway, yeah. So DIY people here, we homeschool. We do that ourselves too.
It's true.
So yeah. So the dates thing. Actually, JT discovered when we were looking for the campsite at Fort Wilderness. We were looking for dates. He discovered that if you adjust your date by one day, then everything opened up. It was amazing.
So DIY tip 2. Try Saturday check-in.
Right.
So what we did when we looked for a Sunday check-in was what we originally thought we would do. Sunday check-in to a Saturday check-out, we came up with nothing at Fort Wilderness. There was no availability. As soon as I went from Saturday to Saturday, everything was wide open.
And that scares me a little bit.
Right.
Because why? I mean, I used to work in hospitality. How come changing one date in your hotel block or something, I was like, how could changing one date all of a sudden open up everything? But, the original dates that we planned, Sunday to Saturday, didn't. So, but it worked. We got a reservation got a reservation. It's fine. They've got it. It's all confirmed. Got the confirmation email and everything.
So there's 2 steps, right? You want to, number 1, you want to find your glamper, right? And then you want to find out if it's available when you want to go, right? Pick your dates, find your glamper, however you want to find it. There are some great people that provide RVs at Fort Wilderness, and they're in the show notes below. We got a link to everything that we found, and we may even highlight a couple of them because they're actually pretty cool.
They have nice
all
trailers,
of them are.
Yeah.
And all of them deliver to Fort Wilderness and set it up for you. All you have to do is drive up, get in, enjoy your vacation, get out, drive away, and they will come pick it up and take it away.
Right.
So
you don't have to mess with all the hooking up and how does
it doesn't
this
get
work
a whole
and
lot
this
easier than that.
Right.
So first you're gonna find out if the trailer is available for the dates that you want to have. Then you need to go and make sure you need to contact that renter or the person that's renting the RV, and you need to find out what size campsite you need at Fort Wilderness. There are different kinds of campsites. You have everything from a tent campsite all the way up to what they call their premier. Obviously, they vary in price. All the way from $50 up to $100 and
depending on the
some,
dates and the season.
Right?
Yeah.
Depending on the season and which dates you're there.
Right.
So once you've confirmed that Fort Wilderness has availability for your dates at the campsite size that you need, and you know what size you have the RVs available for those dates, then you can go ahead and book both, right? I would say book the site before you book the RV, because there are other RV providers that you might be able to get one from if need be. But it's a little bit of a balancing act there. You can't necessarily, book the one and then wait a week and then book the other one. You need to do them pretty quickly.
Yeah, either way, you have to do them both at the same time.
You need to lock in those times, especially at Fort
time.
Wilderness, guys. It is a moderate resort at Disney World. You want to make sure that you lock in your time when you see it is available. And I think anybody could tell you that that's a fact.
Now, see, and what was even more surprising is that, we found this. I mean, like I said, we didn't even have a vacation planned for this time of year. I mean, we just, and especially Disney wasn't even on our radar at all. And we just, so amazingly, that trailer, that really inexpensive, really good deal trailer, and for that week, and the resort, the campground, were available, and yet, and we did it in less than 60 days. So it's like, we're right. What is it? It was, about 50 days, it's less than 60 days, and we get everything. When we talk with people on Facebook in the campers who love Fort Wilderness campground or something like that we kind of connected in there. These people book this stuff out, a year in advance. There's like, we just booked for next year for 2018 for October.
Yeah, we did it. In fact, I just checked today. Our dates are still available for all 5 different campsite types, but only on that Saturday to Saturday.
It's interesting.
Right, and interesting. So here's another interesting tidbit. We found that, especially with the person that we're going to rent from, that 7 days cost us the same as 6 as far as the camper was concerned, as far as the RV was concerned.
Right.
So for us, we pay the extra night for Fort Wilderness, but for us, the cost of the RV didn't change. It was going to cost us the same thing regardless of which day. So it worked out really well. So check on that too when you're looking at comparing your prices and looking at your dates. Good things to look at.
Right. I think I thought this was the way that we were going to be able to do Disney, especially, the price of the trailer, and then, doing our food, so, and then the price of the campsite. I mean, all of that was a lot less than staying at like Art of Animation or something, that we have looked at before. And it gave us the space in the trailer. It gave us room to spread out a little bit more. Especially with going outside, you have that extra room of going outside. This trailer happens to have a porch. We have 2 bathrooms. We don't have to, and we can cook and do things in there. Right.
Which
so
is
we
a big
can
part of our money saving plan.
Right.
Is cooking at least 2 of our 3 meals a day, and we will eat some in the parks. But in general, that's a really expensive way to go. And we can certainly the dining plan is awesome, but also super expensive. So when we're trying to do things on a budget, which we are,
and our budget didn't really. It's still shocking. The budget is still it's sticker shock. It's not something you could just go on a campground weekend getaway,
right.
And just do something for a weekend. Everybody knows you're going to Disney. You spend a lot of money. Tickets and lodging and food.
Right. So be prepared for that.
But this was one way when we decided, like, hey, this is actually making it doable by going to the campground. And this find was just, a huge blessing. So they was able to, like, hey, I think we need to jump on this, and we did. And I'm glad we did, just, because we went back and looked at the guy that we're renting from, and he raised his prices. So we're like, whoo, glad we jumped on that.
Yes, but he didn't raise them a lot. So
it's
very worth it. Yeah, so that's wonderful. So
So that's our plan so far.
Yeah.
Oh, and when we talk with people in the that frequent the campground, this is like they go there every year or several times a year because they live close. We had asked them, okay, we're thinking of having a big breakfast in our trailer, cooking it ourselves, and maybe packing some snacks or a light lunch or something, going to the park, and we're going to come back and either do like an early dinner, and then have, that gives us a little bit of a break and some downtime, and then go back into the park for the evenings. And, we're asking them, look, is this what do you guys do? You're campers there. Do you do this?
Right.
Or do you just go to the park and leave your camper there? What do you do? And, and they said, no, that's what we do. You've got that ability to cook and do your stuff. And it's really, nobody said it was really, time consuming, because you're right there. It's different, because what I've done before is try to find a hotel, like a Groupon deal
Save
for a hotel in
money.
Orlando or something that had a shuttle to the park. And I thought, okay, we'll have breakfast at the hotel, take a shuttle over to the park so we wouldn't have to drive, take a monorail everywhere or something, and then either come back for dinner or something. We'd be coming back off the Disney property and then back on, and everybody says do not do that. And but with this, you're not actually really leaving property. You're leaving the park, but you're just going to the campground. No biggie. You're not actually leaving property and going back out into Orlando. So that's actually a bonus for us. So
And breaks during the day are easy for us now. Whereas if you're not staying on property, you don't want to leave and then come back, because then you have to go.
That's gotta be a nightmare.
Somewhere else.
Well,
It's still going to be a little bit of time, I think, out of the day. It's going to take a little time to get back to our RV from the parks, and whichever park it is. But more and more people have said the tips that we're getting are take a break in the middle of the day. So we're gonna take that tip, and we're gonna see how it goes.
No.
So that's it for this time.
That's our plan so
far. It's all about glamping Disney style.
Yep, and we'll be able to show you some pictures of the trailer, I guess, in the next episode, or this.
We'll do it on this episode, I think.
Yeah, we'll be able to, and then we'll show you some pictures of the lovely trailer, and then we'll catch you for our next episode.
Be sure to subscribe and to like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 5 Rookies DIY, also on Instagram.
Same thing.
5 Rookies DIY. And you can check out our website, 5rookiesdiy.com. So we've been busy doing it ourselves.
Right.
So,
you don't want to see what's behind door number 1 back here.
Right. So until next time. Bye.
Bye.